Hey, finally. Mr. Bose,
Good morning, Judge.
it only took 6 years. How are you,
Only
Mr. Das?
Happy to be
We're
here.
fine.
Thank you, sir.
We're happy that you finally made it after all that time, you know?
Thank you.
Yeah, so, here, let me let Ramon in. All right.
And here it begins, a DWI case that's been sitting for nearly 5 years. The judge's tone may sound calm, but don't miss the weight of what's happening. The defendant is finally being held accountable after 1,797 days. Imagine living that long with a charge hanging over you. That's pressure.
Mr. Das, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. I seriously have to commend your lawyer, Mr. Bose, who has just literally stayed with you 1,797 days old, and she has never, ever forgotten. Mr. Bose?
yes, Judge. Good
Yourself
morning.
on the back, really.
That's
Just,
all.
Thank
you are one and amazing.
Oh, thank you, Judge.
We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On February 13th, 2020, officers were dispatched in regard to a major crash at the exit ramp of Bingle and Pinemont on Northwest Freeway. And the officer made contact with the defendant, who was observed sitting in the driver's seat with the keys in the ignition, with the vehicle still running, and the defendant was covered in vomit. The officer smelled a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage and observed bloodshot eyes and slurred speech. The officer further observed the defendant driving the vehicle and swerve across several lanes and strike a Toyota Sienna van, and that they followed.
This is where the case turns intense. The officer describes a crash, a swerving vehicle, and a driver covered in vomit, all classic signs of severe intoxication. A 0.18 blood alcohol level is dangerously high. But here's the twist. His lawyer stood by him for years. What do you think? Loyalty or blind hope?
The vehicle, and that's whenever they pulled over the vehicle and made contact with the defendant. The officer made contact with the complainant, who did not see the driver or the car hit them. They just felt the impact, which caused their car to spin out of control. And the officer then conducted standard field sobriety test, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 5 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. The defendant was read the DIC and consented to breath. The results 0.112 and 0.118.
You said he was in the driver's seat when
He was
cop
observing
came
the
up to
driver's
him.
seat still running and keys in the ignition.
Mr. Das, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. You are also not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance. Do you understand? Okay, you've got a great lawyer. Listen to her. She'll take care of you. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance so you don't have to waste your time coming to court, but just stay in touch with her. She'll tell you when you need to come back and what to do.
Sure.
Do you see a valid license?
I'm writing it right now, Your Honor. It's eligible.
Great. So for now, I'm going to have you sign a receipt with Victoria. We'll have you get with pretrial for your bond conditions, and after that, you're free to go.
Sure. Thank you.
Please.
Judge, how's March 4th through the 6th?
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
No, we need a date. Hold on. How's
Oh.
March 4th through 6th? You say.
That is a national holiday, the day that the Queen was born. How about?
Is that your birthday?
Yes, my birthday is the 7th. So let's do the 4th. Let's do the 4th, and yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Hey, have a great day.
You do the same, Judge. Bye-bye.
You are charged with violation of a bond or protective order. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. On January 8th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, the officers were conducting surveillance on the defendant, who had active warrants out of the 178th as part of a fugitive task force when they observed the defendant's vehicle parked at a location where the defendant was prohibited from going due to an active protection order. The officers then observed the vehicle drive away, driven by the complainant, of the defendant's open case in the 178th. The officers then observed the vehicle to have an expired registration and initiated a traffic stop. The officer then found the defendant hiding in the back seat. Both the complainant and the defendant acknowledged that the defendant was prohibited from the residence.
So she was at the
She was at the
residence.
complainant's residence, yes.
Was she with the complaining witness
complainant.
as well?
Yes. They
Okay,
were
so
together.
how bad are we talking the ag assault? Do you mind telling me about that?
I'll tell you about the aggravated assault, Your Honor. So in the aggravated assault, the officers were dispatched to a disturbance and they met with the complainant who stated he was involved in a verbal altercation at a bar earlier in the morning. And then once the complainant arrived home, he was locked out of his house and had to force the door open. And that started another disturbance with the defendant. The defendant threw several items at the complainant and the defendant began to strike the complainant on the back of his neck several times with their hands. And the officer observed the complainant to have red scratch marks on his neck. Further, the defendant retrieved a black compact handgun and pointed it at the complainant and racked the slide, thereby placing the complainant in fear for his life.
Okay. Ms. Esquivel, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I want you to understand something very, very clear. The Texas Constitution does not allow me but in extremely limited circumstances to hold someone at bond. Zero bond. This is that situation.
Now the energy shifts. The judge's patience is gone. This zero bond warning isn't just talk, it's a legal hammer. When a judge says she'll do it in a heartbeat, that means no second chances. Should courts take a harder stance like this, or does everyone deserve one more shot? Tell us in the comments.
I'm going to put a protective order naming this person as a protected individual. If you so much as do anything to violate any of these conditions, I can have a hearing to hold you at no bond, and I will do it in a heartbeat to protect every person in my county. Do you understand? You are not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. No weapons, no contact with the complaining witness, and no going. I'm assuming, is it a he, she? Well, it doesn't matter. You're not to have any contact. Don't go anywhere where this person lives, works, anything. Do you understand? I don't want to talk about the case, but
President, I'm a little
Oh.
confused.
who's your lawyer?
Robert Valles, and he's on my case. He was supposed to be here
You-
this morning. I'm a little confused.
Do you know, has Bo said he's going to show?
Hasn't said anything.
We had no idea that you have a lawyer. Okay, so let's do this. What I can do is I can have you take a seat. We'll wait for him to get here. But regardless, I'm putting these conditions on your bond. I've found that probable cause exists to go forward with your case. The only thing I'm telling you now, don't violate any of these conditions because there are severe consequences.
Yes, Your Honor.
We'll go through it again when your lawyer gets here, but just don't leave until he gets here, okay?
Your Honor.
For now, I'm gonna have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you get signed for your conditions. Just take a seat momentarily. Well, once he gets here, then we'll go through it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.